LW, thank you for waiting patiently, man. LW, go ahead, speak on the topic. Rip into Rebel. Go ahead. The floor is yours, man.
You know what? I don't even want to rip into Rebel. I appreciate is it Miss Cutie handling that. I don't even really need to even address that. What I think that is lacking is empathy. I think that we just I think that I don't know where Rebel what his background is, but one of the things I feel it gives me a lot of things. Um, I I I don't know if he grew up in a two-parent home. I don't know if he has relatives and he can put himself in someone else's shoes and has empathy for anyone's individual circumstances. Everyone's is different. And I just think that having compassion and love is just lacking in the world today. And it more than anything, it does upset me, but it makes me sad in the end that this is how we want to beat down Black women. This is not, it's not encouraging. It does nothing for change. It does absolutely nothing to move the situation forward, to change it. The only thing that he can do is go inside his household and control that. You can't control the world and what other people do by bashing them and beating them down and browbeating. It's I just think I think it's more or less it's sad. It's a sad state when we use a platform in which you can probably make way more better changes by having a more positive message than to beat down and quote stats and say all kinds of disparaging things because that's what I'm getting. It's disparage. And not to say that um Noble, what you the first thing that you spoke about, I completely agreed with when it comes to um what it is when you have the parents and the relationships. I agree that if you're a single parent, you should focus on your children because of all the many things that I've heard. Even the other young man that was speaking, he just some of the things that he said I thought were more helpful than the beating down. I just think it's terrible, and hopefully that narrative will eventually change. Or like Miss Cutie said, it's getting tired. Hopefully, it will get so tired that it just is non-existent because uh, pushing buttons and making fun it is not helpful. I just think it's not helpful at all. You know, I completely disagree with the way that these young Black men are going around talking about young Black women. And Black women completely continue to have Black men's back. They're not, I mean, and if it is the bashing, it's because they're being bashed first. They're listening to this, and then they'll go and start their own thing, which I think it all is ridiculous. And I really wish it would stop. I mean, not that I can do anything about it, but to say something, I just feel like I have to say something. And I'm not in any of the situations that are that are even out here, but I can put myself in everyone's shoes. Not necessarily a man's shoes, but I would absolutely try just so that I can make his situation better, and
Ma'am,
to call it out. Yes,
I
sir,
didn't want
Mr.
to.
Rebel.
No, no, not rebel, never. This is Dilla. I got a question for you, and I'm glad you brought up the whole bashing thing. It's perfect segment into what I want to speak about. So, as a Black man in society, I make over the median in the United States. My daughter lives in my home. I get child support. My child support is never touch my home. When my daughter turns 18, that money will be sitting there for her when she turns 18. Every dollar her mama gave me since she was 5 years old it's been sitting there since she was 5. She's 10. She'll be 11 this year. And until she's 18 or whatever her mom stopped paying, it'll be there. Anyway, my point is that I love when our women say they're tired of hearing black men talk negative about them and all of the things that are negative that black men say out their mouths. My question is, are y'all tired of the black women that talk about black men in society who don't got nothing to do with what y'all talking about? The negativity, the things that are being projected on the black men in society who did nothing, didn't compromise no women, didn't essay no women, didn't disrespect no women. They are virtually invisible to black women unless they make a certain amount of money, a certain height, have a certain amount of money in their account, certain penis size, drive a certain car, live in a certain neighborhood. Like, I love how y'all is upset and furious at the men when they are articulating what's going wrong for them and how they feel about things, going about it wrong sometimes, yes. But women are doing the same exact thing on this platform. I don't see y'all getting in their comments and telling them, talk about the black men you're dealing with, talk about the black men you let in your space. I don't see y'all stitching their videos. I don't see y'all in their comments. I don't see y'all jumping in their lives. So I love when y'all come and have the energy for us, but I want you to turn around and have the same energy for your sisters and your peers, because they're the ones who are projecting as well. And in the same way, when we articulate how something hits us and is negative to us, and we project back, it's because it's a reaction, just like it's a reaction when a woman does it. The only difference is y'all seem to be blind to the fact of what African American women are doing in society to project negativity on black men. So just like y'all upset, we upset too. Just like y'all didn't have fathers, we didn't have fathers too. Just like y'all didn't have love coming up, we didn't have love too. So you keep talking about pointing fingers, but I don't never see y'all have the same energy for the ladies. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, for me, I grew up with a father. Therefore, I've seen men and I've seen how men behave. And this is not how the men in the household in which I grew up behaved. I've been able to see the operating of how a family works. And to me, I think it's very, I mean, even though I grew up in a household with a father figure, it is not, it doesn't, it I still can have empathy for those who didn't. And to me, I see and I hear that pain. And to me, that's exactly what it is. It is pain, but you're projecting your pain onto other people, creating more pain. And I get it. Hurt people hurt people. But when is that going to stop? When is it going to stop? I'm not necessarily even involved. I mean, in all honesty, most Black pages come across my For You, and I have not been in, and I stop and I listen to pretty much everyone for a few minutes, and I have not just heard Black women bashing Black men. That is not what I've heard. And maybe I'm like, maybe I need to go look for it, but I've not heard that. But I constantly come across the passport bros. They come across every time I turn this app on. And when is
Okay.
that going to end? You can
Okay.
say, I mean, you can't tell me about a man. I've seen them and how they behave, and this is not it. I've never had a brother talk like this. My father never spoke like this. Never, never. So I
This
don't
is
know what you're
2020 though,
talking
man. This ain't 1950 or 1960 or 1970. It's a different time now. People have educations now. Men are smarter now. Women are smarter now. It's different. And it's evolution. This is what happens when individuals don't have a voice and they don't have people to guide them in life. Ma'am, I know you want to talk up top. I'm almost done. But I have one more thing to say. And I understand what you're saying. I come from the background of the South. My grandmother, I didn't talk behind them. I wasn't disrespectful. I raised my daughter the same way. I'm not out here to disrespect black women at all. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a black woman. I wouldn't be able to raise my daughter the way I raised my daughter, with the love and care, if it wasn't for black women around me. Black women have always protected me in life. We're telling me what type of women to stay away from, how to conduct myself in society, how I ain't got not be behind bars, all that. So I got no axe to grind with black women. But my problem and my issue is, y'all, when it comes to accountability, just like my question I asked, you never said nothing about the women. You don't see it. That don't mean it don't happen. That don't mean you ain't heard it. That don't mean you don't know women that have said things. You know what I'm saying? So it's always funny that y'all ain't heard nothing, y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all always ain't never heard nothing, never seen nothing. But I'm gonna ask you this: you heard that sound where the black women were pointing to black men, that young black kid at the end, where they said, "I love you, black men. I love you, black men." Black women are coining this sound and saying, "Oh, see, we pointing to y'all, we pointing to y'all," but y'all don't talk about why that sound was created. It wasn't created because black women were pouring love into black men, into society, and on social platforms. That sound was created because y'all was tearing us down. That sound was created because y'all was disrespecting us. So I love when women are talking about don't use this sound with other different demographic of women saying they love black men and all this other stuff, and black women getting upset, but y'all wasn't upset when the factors that made that sound even possible was happening. Y'all was silent. But I'm done.
I really don't understand your issue. To me, I really, in all honesty, do not hear it. I don't know what it is that you're hearing. You have had relationships are complicated regardless of who you getting into it with. They're all complicated. But you mean to tell me just because the relationship you had with a black woman went bad, that it is they're all bad? It's just not true. You're gonna extend the
Exactly.
same bad
So
with
when black
somebody in
women say
another
these black men
nationality.
ain't nothing, I want you to
That
remember
is
that.
not
When
what
these black women
you're
say these
not
black
even
men, I
listening to
want you to
what
say the
I'm
same
saying.
thing. That's all I want
You
you to say.
you
Because you saying the
you
same
have
thing, but you're not listening.
you
You not listening
sir,
though. You
sir,
hearing you
you
hearing
have
to react. You not listening, man. I'm telling you, you not. You listen to you not listening because black women
brother,
have
when
been
you
doing
came
that,
into the room,
but
when
you
you
are not
stepped
saying
in,
it.
give me 1 second here, Bleak, because I know exactly who I'm talking to because you and I, we went back and forth even in the comments. Yeah, and you were I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt when you say, "Oh, I'm just kidding. We're all looking for you know what I'm talking about right now." And
Oh
to
yeah,
me,
I was
yeah,
trolling.
you know exactly what I'm saying. So we don't I don't even know. So
Yeah.
my thing is I know exactly what it is, sir. And it's not to even beat down on you about it, but it is to say, hey, you know what you're doing. You know what space you're in. You know where you are. So why would you do that? So don't the beef is not with me. I love black men and no one can tell me different. I know what is actually happening between us. And to me, to pick at it, to beat it down, to browbeat it does not help. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let Cutie talk in there. I do need to let Shauna talk. So go ahead, Miss Cutie.
Well, in our community, Zilla, we both black men and black women. We have since everybody go to social media, y'all understand this language. We both have our icks, right? But you don't really see like black women saying, I'm going overseas because these men who was raised just like us, like you said, have these issues and we're going to find something better that's going to treat us better. We don't do that. But black men will get on the world's internet and say that and bash black women down to the point you got other races bashing black women. You got the Asian women bashing black women. You got the white women bashing, but everybody's coming against us. So I get what they're saying. Yes, we do have some icks, and yes, we do need to take accountability with a lot of the choices that we make. Some marriages can be saved, some of them cannot be saved. We have a lot of black men in the community that can't deal with their anger. They don't know how to deal with their anger. And again, a man is way stronger than a woman. So when a man get, angry and out of pocket and violent, it can be detrimental. That happens a lot because they're not getting therapy. They're not getting counseling. Just like some of the black women. But you wouldn't date a hood rat. I hope you wouldn't if your mindset not in the hood rat mindset. You'll get somebody that's on the same level that you're on. So whatever the hood rat doing, you shouldn't even care about that. Pray for them. Work in the community to stop them. You know what? I was a property manager at a Section 8 property, and it was this black guy that was messing with three black women, and he had all of them pregnant at the same time. Let me tell you, those black girls hated me for a long time, for years, because I had him no trespass because he was starting so much commotion in that community. But the girls hated me. They were saying they was gonna jump me when I got off work. I'd have security drive me home, all type of stuff. But I was doing that just to protect the community because he was a cancer to that community. He was starting so much trouble. And I told the black women, hey, we need to think better. They now these same girls are nurses now. They said we thank you for doing that because at the time we couldn't see because we were young. They didn't have fathers. Like y'all didn't have fathers. No. So if somebody's coming from a household that they didn't see how a relationship is supposed to work, how do they know? You can't hate nobody for being ignorant because they don't know. So they are looking. Women do look for love in men. It be multiple men, and it results in multiple children, and they make mistakes. But are they the dirt under our foot? No. Just like the black man is it when they make terrible mistakes, because black men make terrible mistakes too. So just like you say, you don't hear us saying that to the women. We do go against. We do not say go against each other, but on this app, we do have debates with each other. Believe it or not.
Okay.
Believe it or not, we do.
Okay. I want to say one thing, and then I do need to let Shauna Zilla be quick because Shauna needs to speak. She's been waiting. Be quick.
All right, hey, sorry, Shauna, I apologize, and thank you. I can't read her name on the left, on my right hand side. But anyway, what I want to say is I agree with you to a certain extent. But we didn't create the passport, bro. Little movement or whatever, and those black men, they don't represent the 54% of black men in society who don't have children. You know what I'm saying? They don't represent those men. They don't represent the men in society that are black, that love black women, that want to be with black women. So I don't understand how the small fractions of black men continue to be the things that outshine uh the black men who are not contributing to the negative factors. Y'all say y'all want us to be more vocal on this platform, and not allow them to be so voiceless on here. We shouldn't be so voiceless. So when we do talk about it, yeah, we could be a little bit better in articulating it without having to be negative about it. But honestly, I think that we have to be honest, man. You have to say this stuff, and it just has to be said. And I'm just gonna say that at the end of the day, I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I'm saying it because it's real through life experiences. We are who we are at the end of the day. But y'all want us to be real. We want y'all to be real. I know that y'all see this stuff going on, just like y'all know that we see stuff going on. Y'all want us to correct when black men are talking negative about black women. The only difference is I don't see y'all holding other women to the same standard. But we can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this before Shauna speaks. As a black man, as a man that is not a passport brother and does not support passport brothers, um, I'm not gonna let any black woman say that, y'all got the Asians, y'all got the Filipinian woman and all these other women talk great. No, you black women have these women talking crazy about you because you black women are the same women that, instead of focusing on the passport brothers, y'all decided to talk negatively about these group of women. Y'all tried to demean these women and say that they're poor and say that they're not educated and say that they're this, that, and the third. So when they respond to you, you can't try to make it seem like it's a problem. And that's coming from a black. I call stuff how I see it, and I don't tolerate disrespect, and I'm not gonna. Black women cannot try to make it seem like y'all should have been keeping your focus on the black men that are saying negative things about you guys and why they want to leave. Y'all ain't have to include those other group of women and disrespect them. So they have every right to come back at black women.
You know what? Can I
Facts.
just say one thing even about
Okay,
that,
one
what
thing.
you just spoke about?
No, okay, everyone else mute up. Say one thing. Shauna's been waiting. Shauna is speaking next.
Okay,
Say
I'm sorry. I just want to address what you just spoke about, and I didn't even bring this up at all, but when it came to the Asian women, I was on, what is it, Rebels Live, probably a few weeks ago. He brought that up. That was his theme music. That was his whole speak about. He played a video. He brought that up, and it was a pit, from my observation, a pit of black women against these other women. And what I spoke about was, I was like, black women are not thinking about these things when they get up in the morning. These are not the things that we are. Our issues are with our black men. It is not about other women. It has nothing to do with them. So the truth is, I don't. He did show the video, but that is, I don't even hear that conversation. um I believe that's where it started, on Rebels Live.
no,
I
it did.
believe that.
No, it
I
didn't
think he
start.
birthed it.
No, no, no,
I
no, no. I'm
believe.
telling you, it did not start on Rebels Live. There are women, there are Filipino women, there are Asian women on this app that are responding to what black women are saying about them. There are black women on podcasts on all these different platforms whenever they're talking about the Passport Brothers, they're the ones who are talking about these women from these different places and pitting them in a bad negative light, pitting them as poor, pitting
Passport
them as
Brothers didn't
uneducated, and
even
all
until TikTok.
so
It
so
was it's a
so
TikTok
so
version.
when they decide to respond, you cannot try to say that you guys have them talking. No, y'all brought that upon yourselves. But I need to let Shauna talk. Thank you for waiting patiently, Shauna. Go ahead.